Questions. Ladies and gentlemen, namaste. You know, once a friend told me, a personality is like Wi-Fi. If it's strong, people automatically get connected to you. If it's weak, people keep saying no internet connection, a pause, laughter. So today, questions. Let's talk about how to improve your personality every single day, not once in a while. Not just on birthdays or New Year resolutions, brushing your teeth, but daily, because nobody wants bad breath. And nobody enjoys personality either. Now, personality is not just about branded clothes, a polished accent, or how many followers you have on Instagram. Personality is about the person inside you, your attitude, your behavior, your energy. Tara smile often tara, you know, the Simmons. Yet most powerful things we can do every day to improve our personality is just to smile. Yes, smile more often. It sounds simple or almost too simple, right? But let me tell you, this small actions an extraordinary weight. A smile is like the sunshine of human interaction, had to brighten just your day, but also the day of those around you. When you wake up in the morning and you look yourself in the mirror, what's the first thing you see? Some of us see messy hair, sleepy eyes, and think, oh no, not again. Pause. Laughter, but imagine if instead of frowning at your reflection, you start your day with a smile at yourself. You'll be amazed how it changes the energy with which you step out into the world. A smile is free, but its value is priceless. You don't have to go to shop to buy it. You don't have to subscribe to a monthly plan for it. Yet it has the power to win hearts, open doors, and create lasting impressions. Let me give you a daily life example. Imagine walking into your office or your classroom, or even the grocery store. Now picture two versions of yourself. In the first version, you walk in with a serious face, eyes fixed on the ground as if you are carrying the weight of the world. People look at you and maybe they feel a little hesitant. Maybe they even approach you. In the second version, you walk in with a gentle smile. Suddenly the energy changes. People feel more comfortable, they greet, and some even smile because of you. Do you see? The only thing that changed the curve on your lips, but it completely changed the atmosphere. Science even backs this up. Studies have shown that when you smile, your brain releases endorphins, those little happy hormones. That means when you smile, you're not only making others feel good, you are actually healing yourself, reducing stress, and increasing your positivity. It's like carrying your own pharmacy right in your face. Pause. Laughter. Let me share a story. A man was rushing to catch his train. He was frustrated, he angry, and he was pushing people aside. Suddenly, an old lady smiled him as he bumped into her. Just one smile. Do you know what happened? His anger melted instantly. He slowed down, held the lady, and still managed to catch his train. Later, he said that smile was the turning point of his whole day. Friends, never underestimate the ripple effect of what genuine smile. Some people say, "Bob, if I don't feel like smiling." Why I'm having a bad day. Let me tell you, sometimes we don't smile because we are happy. Sometimes we become happy because we smile. A smile has the power to trick your brain into positivity. It's like lighting a candle in a dark room. Even if the darkness is thick, one small flame can begin to push it away. And let's be honest, all of us love being around people who smile. Nobody says, "Oh, I want to hang out with that guy. He always looks so grumpy." Pause. Laughter. No, people are drawn to warmth, to kindness, to joy. And nothing communicates those qualities faster than a smile. In our daily lives, we have so many opportunities to practice this. When you greet your family in the morning, smile. When you meet your colleagues, smile. When you buy vegetables from the vendor, smile. When you see a child on the street, smile. Sometimes your small act of smiling could be the only sunshine in someone's cloudy day. You never know what battle people are fighting, and your smile might just be the reminder that life still has beauty. But here's something important. Your smile must be genuine. People can sense a fake smile. It's like instant noodles. It looks nice, but it doesn't really satisfy. A pause, laughter, genuine smile comes from the heart, from gratitude, from kindness. Toestones. And the more you practice gratitude, the more natural your smile becomes. I remember a taxi driver I once met, Toestones. No matter who entered his cab, then with the warmest smile. I asked him, "Oh, how do you manage to stay so cheerful all the time?" He replied, "Sir, if I start my day with a smile, my passengers also smile. They talk kindly, they tip me better, and I go home with peace." Questions. So I waste my day with a frown. What a simple yet powerful philosophy. Friends, of a taxi driver who faces traffic, difficult passengers, and long hours can keep a smile, what excuse do we have? A smile costs nothing, but it pays much. So much. Questions. When we talk about improved personality every day, let's not think of big, complicated formulas. Let's begin with the simplest. Toestones. Most beautiful gesture, smile more often, because personality is not only about how you look, but about how you make others feel. And nothing makes people feel better, safer, and happier than a sincere smile. So tomorrow morning, toestones, when you see your reflection in the mirror, don't just fix your hair, fix your face too, put on your best smile. Tunes, and carry it wherever you go. That smile will not only improve your personality, but it will also improve your life. Tunes. Remember, this Tara is the curve that sets everything straight. Tara, Toestones. Tara Tara, listen, you speak. Tara Tara, one of the most underrated yet powerful traits that can transform your personality is the ability to listen, be you. Speak. Toestones. You see, most people think a good personality means talking impressively, having clever lines, or always knowing what to say. But let me tell you a secret. True charm often lies not in how well you speak, but in how deeply you listen. Have you noticed this? Conversations, most of us don't really listen. We just wait for our turn to talk. Someone says, "But I had such a tough day." And immediately we jump in, "Oh, you think your day was tough? Let me tell you about mine." Pause, laughter instead of listening. Toestones. Instead of connecting, we are interrupting. But imagine if we first looked at the person and simply said, "Toestones, but really, what happened?" That one question, that little silence can make the other person feel valued. And believe me, Toestones, people are not looking for someone who always has the smartest answer. They are looking for someone who makes them feel heard. Toestones, let's give you a simple daily example. You come home from work, tired, exhausted, and your child runs to you excitedly. Papa. Guess what happened today? Now at that moment, you have two choices. Choice one, you wave immediately, "I'm tired." Later, two toestones. You kneel down, look into his eyes, and say, "Tell what happened me." In that moment, your child feels important, loved, and respected. Which version do you think will build a stronger bond and a better personality? The answer is obvious. Questions. Listening not just about keeping quiet. Listening is about giving attention with your heart. It's about empathy. Questions. When your friend is narrating her struggles, she doesn't need your quick advice. She needs your patient ear. She doesn't want your solutions. She wants your presence. There is a saying, Tara, when you talk, questions, you are only repeating what you already know. But when you listen, you might learn something new. Itara, isn't that beautiful? Questions. Every person meet knows something that you don't. If you are always talking, you will miss that treasure. But if you listen, you may discover wisdom, experience, and even stories and can change your perspective. I once met an old man on a flight. He looked simple, dressed plainly, and most people ignored him. But I chose to listen. For 2 hours, he shared stories of his life, his struggles, his little victories. At the end, I discovered he had been a freedom fighter in his youth. Imagine, a man with such a rich history sitting right next to me. If I had kept talking about myself, I would have missed that gold mine of wisdom. The day I learn every person is like a book, but only if you are willing to read by listening. Let's be honest, many relationships suffer not because of lack of love, but because of lack of listening. Husbands complain, but my wife doesn't understand me. Or wives complain, or my husband never listens. Parents say, but children don't pay attention. And children say, but parents don't hear us out. Do you see? The common thread is listening. If we can just slow down and truly listen, so many misunderstandings would simply vanish. sometimes, questions, listening and even save lives. I remember reading about a young man who was standing on the edge of a bridge, ready to end his life. A stranger walked by, stopped, and instead of lecturing, simply said, "But hey, I'm here. Talk to me, questions. What's going on?" That listening ear pulled the young man back from the edge. He later said, "But I did need advice. I just needed someone to listen." If friends, don't underestimate the healing power of silence filled with attention. Now, questions, you might ask, "Oh, but what if I don't know what to say after listening?" That's the beauty, you don't always need to say something. Questions, sometimes not a gentle "I understand," or even your quiet presence is more powerful than 1,000 words. Questions, listen also makes you a better leader, better friend, and a better human being. In offices, employees don't quit jobs. They quit bosses who don't listen. In friendships, people drift apart because they don't care, but because what feels ignored. And in families, love becomes invisible when listening disappears. So how do we practice this every day? Simple. Questions. Next time one is talking, put down your phone. Look them in the eyes. Don't interrupt with your story. Questions. Don't for reply in your hell, they are still speaking. Just be there. Just listen. Even if you say nothing at the end. Questions. The other person will feel lighter because someone gave them the gift of attention. Listening is like watering a plant. Questions. The plant doesn't need your lecture, it needs your care. In the same way, people grow when they feel heard. Questions. And when people grow around you, your personality shines brighter. So friends, remember this. Talking may impress. Questions. But listening connects. Talking may show your knowledge, but listening shows your wisdom. Questions. And talking make people notice you for a moment, but listening will make people remember you for a lifetime. Questions. If you want to improve your personality every single day, cultivate the art of listening. Listen before you speak. Questions. Because when you listen, you don't just you hear feelings, you hear unspoken pain. Questions. You hear the music, the other person's soul. And that, my friends, is the foundation of a truly magnetic personality. Taratara gratitude taratara. If there is one habit that can transform your personality from ordinary to extraordinary, it is the attitude of gratitude. Questions. Gratitude is not just saying a thank you when someone hands you a cup of tea or opens the door for you. Gratitude is a way of seeing the world, a way of recognizing the blessings hidden in plain sight, and a way of appreciating people for who they are rather than what they do for you. Most of us wake up in the morning and the first thing we do is check our phone messages, email, social media. And often, always follows is comparison, worry, or stress. But imagine waking up and the first thing you do is whisper, "Thank you. I'm alive. Questions. I can walk. I have another day to try again." This simple shift in mindset doesn't just make you positive. It makes your quality radiate warmth and contentment. Questions. People are naturally drawn to those who appreciate life instead of complaining about. Gratitude is magnetic. Questions. Think of the people you enjoy spending time with. Are they the ones who complain constantly? Traffic is horrible, the food is bad, the boss is unfair? Or are they the ones who say, "But yes, traffic was heavy, but I got time to listen to music"? AOBS. Questions. Work was tough, but I learned something new. You and I both know the answer. Questions. A grateful heart doesn't deny difficulties, it simply chooses to focus on what is good. Questions. And that makes the personality shine brighter than any branded outfit or rehearsed speech ever could. Let me share a small day life example. A young man once told me, "I decided to thank the security guard of my building every day when I left for work." Initially, the guard was surprised. Questions. But after a week, the guard began to smile every morning and saluted him with extra energy. What changed? Nothing, except word of thank you. That word gave dignity to someone who often went noticed. Questions. And it also changed the young man's own mood. He said he felt lighter and happier on his way to work. Questions. That's the power of gratitude, multiplies joy for both the giver and the receiver. Gratitude also deepens relationships. Spouses often take each other for granted. Parents often don't hear a thank you from their children. Questions. And children often don't hear appreciation from their parents. A husband comes home, eats the dinner his wife prepared, And instead of saying, "Oh, thank you for cooking," he says, "Too much salt today." A wife looks at her husband and instead appreciating his efforts at work, she says, "Pa, you're always late." Over time, gratitude disappears and criticism becomes the language of the house. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine a husband saying, "But thank you for always cooking with love." Your wife saying, "Thank you for working so hard for us." Suddenly, love feels alive again. Gratitude revives what complaints bury. Even in workplaces, gratitude changes the atmosphere. A boss who says, "A job, I really appreciate your effort," he will have a team that is loyal and motivated. A colleague who says, "Thanks for helping me out with that file," he will always have support when needed. On the other hand, a person who never acknowledges us creates a circle of coldness around himself. Gratitude is like oxygen, it keeps relationships alive. Without it, everything suffocates. There's a beautiful saying, Tara, gratitude turns what we have into enough. Tara, isn't that profound? When we are not grateful, we are always chasing more money, more recognition, more possessions. But when we are grateful, we realize we already have so much to celebrate. This realization makes us peaceful, humble, and kind. And peace, humility, and kindness are the real jewels of a great personality. Some gratitude can even change pain into strength. A person once told me, "I lost my job during a recession. Initially, I was angry and depressed. But then I started listing I was still grateful for my health, my supportive family, my skills. That gratitude gave me the courage to start a small business. Today, I employ others who also lost their jobs. Do you see, gratitude doesn't remove challenges, but it gives you the energy to overcome them with grace. Now, here's the beautiful thing. Gratitude is contagious. If you show gratitude, others start doing the same. It spreads like laughter. When you thank the waiter at a restaurant, the person sitting at the next table might remember to do it too. When you thank your parents, your children learn by watching you. Gratitude multiplies wherever it is planted. So, how do we practice this in daily life? Start with small steps. Before going to bed, think of things you are grateful for that day. It could be as simple as the tea I had in the morning. You're the smile of a stranger. You're the fact that my body carried me through the day. And every day, express gratitude to at least one person. Not just in your heart, but in words. Say it, show it. You'll notice your personality becoming lighter, brighter, and more attractive. Friends, remember this. Gratitude is not about ignoring problems. It's about choosing to see blessings amidst problems. Gratitude is not just about manners. It's about mindset. And gratitude is not just about saying a thank you. It's about living a thank you. Or when people look at you, let them see a person who doesn't complain but appreciates. Let them see someone who turns ordinary moments into celebrations. Let them see someone who makes others feel valued. That's the personality people remember, respect, and love. So, carry gratitude in your heart and on your lips, because while talents may impress people, gratitude will touch their hearts. And a heart that touches other hearts, that is the mark of a truly extraordinary personality. Tara, control the anger button. Tara, every of us has an anger button hidden somewhere inside. For some people, it's on the surface, you press it and boom, they explode like a pressure cooker. For others, it's buried deep. But when it gets pressed, the volcano erupts. The question is not whether we have anger. The question is whether we can control it. Because the strength of your personality is measured not by how loud you can shout, but by how calmly you can respond. Have you noticed how anger works? Someone cuts you off in traffic, and suddenly you forget all your spiritual values. Someone says the wrong word in the office, and you slam your keyboard like it's responsible for your misery. Someone at home doesn't do something your way, and you explode as if the world is collapsing. And later, when the fire cools, guilt sets in. You realize your words were sharper than knives, and the damage is already done. This cycle destroys relationships, and most importantly, peace of mind. There's a story of a boy who had a terrible temper. His father gave him a bag of nails and told him, Every time you get angry, hammer a nail into the fence. On the first day, he hammered 70 nails. But slowly, as he learned to control himself, the number reduced. Finally, one day, he had no nails to hammer. Then his father said, "But now, pull one nail out every day, you manage to stay calm." Eventually, the boy removed all the nails. His father then showed him the fence filled with holes, said, "And son, anger is like this. Even if you remove it later, scars remains. Isn't that powerful? Words spoken in anger may be forgiven, but they leave scars that don't easily fade. Take a life example. Imagine a husband's home late. His wife, already frustrated, greets him with harsh words. "Oh, you're always late. You don't care about this family." The husband, already tired, reacts, "But do you think I enjoy working late? You don't understand that the evening, which could have been peaceful, turns into a battlefield." Now, imagine the same situation with controlled anger. The wife says calmly, "Pa is waiting for you. Dinner is cold." Can we find a way to spend more evenings together? That the husband, instead of exploding, replies, "Pa, I know I'm late. Work is heavy. Try harder." In the same scenario, but the outcome is completely different. Why? Because someone pressed the anger button, didn't explode. Friends, anger itself is not evil. It's a natural emotion. But when anger controls us, we lose control of our personality. Have you ever noticed, when you're angry, you say things you don't mean, and later you regret? But no matter how many times you say sorry, people may remember your angry words more than your apology. That's why great personalities are not those who never get angry, but those who master the art of channeling it. There's a saying, "Taro, speak when you are angry, and you'll make the best speech you'll ever regret." Itara, how true. Personality is judged not in moments of comfort, but in moments of conflict. If you can remain calm when provoked, people will admire your strength. If you explode, people may fear you, but they won't respect you. How do we control this anger button? One simple technique is to pause. Just pause. When you feel anger rising, don't react instantly. Count to deeply. Drink a glass of water. Even step out of the room if you have to. Tiny pause creates a gap emotion and your reaction, and in that gap lies wisdom. Another method is perspective. Ask yourself for a matter of years from now, most of the things we explode over traffic jam, misplaced keys, a rude comment are so trivial that they won't even matter days later. Why sacrifice your peace and damage your personality over things so small? And let's not forget humor. Sometimes, when you're about to get angry, try to laugh at the situation. If your child spills milk, instead of shouting, just smile and say, "Paul looks like the floor was thirsty." A humor can disarm anger and keep relationships healthy. I once met a man who was known for his calmness. People asked him, "But how do you never get angry?" He smiled and said, "Bo, I do get angry, but I never give mine the steering wheel, I keep it in the back seat. Because anger drives my life, I'll crash." That's the secret. Let anger be there, but don't let it drive you. Friends, controlling anger doesn't make your personality attractive, it makes it trustworthy. People feel safe around you because they know you won't explode at every small trigger. Your presence becomes peaceful, your words become gentle, and your actions become thoughtful. And that is what makes a personality truly magnetic. So the next time someone presses your anger button, remember, you always have a choice. You can explode like a bomb and leave destruction behind, or you can stay calm like lamp and spread light around. What destroys, the other builds. One scars, the other heals. And your personality will be remembered not for how loud you shouted, but for how gracefully you stayed in control. Control the anger button, and you will control not just your personality, but your destiny. Tara reads something valuable. Tara of the most beautiful ways to impersonality every single day. It's something valuable. Now, when I say read, I don't mean endlessly scrolling social media, scanning gossip articles, or memorizing celebrity updates. I mean feeding your mind with wisdom, knowledge, and ideas that elevate you. Because just as the body becomes what we eat, The mind be read, garbage in, garbage out, wisdom in, wisdom out. Oh, questions. Have you ever noticed that when you read even a single inspiring page in the morning, your entire day feels different? Questions. It's like adding fuel to your inner engine. Reading valuable things doesn't just give you information, it gives you perspective, clarity, and depth. And personality shines when there is depth. Shallow personalities talk only about people, flashy events, questions or complaints. Strong personalities, however, radiate because they have substance, something meaningful to share. Questions. That substance comes from what you feed your mind. Let's take a daily life example. Imagine two colleagues at work. One spends his break scrolling aimlessly through random videos, gossip articles, and memes. Questions. The other spends 10 minutes reading an insightful book or an article about legation, or even a spiritual lesson. Now, when conversations happen, the first colleague talks about who posted online, while the second offers ideas, stories, solutions. Who do you think people admire more? Obviously, the one who reads something valuable. Questions. It's not about showing off, it's about naturally having something worthwhile. To because you have been feeding your mind with the right content. They always saying, Tarara readers are leaders. It's true. Great leaders in history were almost always great readers. They knew that books carry experiences that one lifetime alone cannot provide. By reading, you live thousands of lives, hear questions, see countless perspectives, and gain wisdom without paying the heavy price of mistakes. I once met a man who had little formal education, carried incredible wisdom. I asked him, Tones, but how did you learn all this? He smiled and said, I made books my mentors. Questions. Every page I read was like a conversation with someone wiser than me. That answer struck me deeply. Questions. We may not always have access to great teachers in person, but when we pick a valuable book, questions, we invite the greatest minds into our living room. Reading something valuable doesn't always mean thick, complicated books. Questions. It could be one article that nourishes your mind, one story that teaches you compassion, or one quote that becomes your guiding light. Questions. Sometimes a single line has the power to change your direction. For example, many people's lives shifted when they read lines like, be the change you wish to see in the world, but this too shall pass. Small sentences, but profound impact. Let's be honest. Questions. Our phones and TVs are competing for our attention every moment. But if we can discipline ourselves to read something valuable daily, even for just ponder our minutes, we build in a library of wisdom. And when challenges come, that wisdom speaks. Questions. When someone asks for guidance, wisdom flows. When we are confused, that wisdom comforts. That's how personality becomes rich, magnetic, and inspiring. Think about your own experiences. Have you ever read a story that made you cry? Questions. Or a biography that made you dream bigger? Or a spiritual book that made you calmer? Didn't it change something in you? Questions. Reading valuable content polishes your thoughts, and polished thoughts polish your personality. Here's another day life example. A father once decided to read one inspiring story to his daughter every night before bed. Over time, questions. She not only developed for reading but also started showing kindness, empathy, and courage. Her teachers noticed a change in her personality. She was calmer, more thoughtful, and more confident. Why? Questions. Because what she read began to reflect in who she became. Questions. That's the magic of reading valuable things. It slowly but surely shapes our character. Now some people say, tunes, or I don't have time to read. Really, if we have time to scroll endlessly through news feeds, binge shows, and 4 jokes on WhatsApp, we definitely have time to read at least one page of something valuable. Tunes. The question is not time, the question is priority. And here's a beautiful truth. When you read valuable things, questions, your conversations also become valuable. People notice. They think this person has something refreshing to share. Questions. Your personality naturally becomes magnetic because you're not just echoing what everyone else is saying, adding depth, questions, given wisdom. So how can we practice this daily? Simple. Keep a book by your bed or on your desk. Tuition. Instead of starting your day with negative views, start with one page of something uplifting. Questions. Instead of ending your night with endless scrolling, and with a paragraph of wisdom. Questions. You don't read entire book in Goj. War pays a day can slowly change your thoughts. Oistons. And your thoughts will change your personality. Friends, remember this. Reading something valuable is not a hobby, it's an investment. Oistons. An investment in your personality, your growth, and your future. The more you read, the more your inner world expands. And when your inner world expands, your outer personality blossoms. So make a promise to yourself today. Just as you feed your body daily, feed your mind daily too. Because while fashion changes your look, reading changes your outlook. And is outlook, not outfits, that makes a personality truly unforgettable.